Hey, Composite Gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about quite probably, in fact, it's pretty much agreed that this is the most popular chord progression ever. What are you talking about, Mr. Gloves? It is the one. So these combinations of chords can literally make like thousands of different songs. So there's entire videos about this. It is the 1 5 6 4. The 1 5 6 4, and you can do different variations on this. This is generally the most common form of it. I have a little diddle here. The melody and stuff, I just slapped it down really fast. Didn't really give too much thought to it. I just repeated the bass line over and over and over. But it's one chord at a time. So it's the 1, the 5, the 6, and then the 4, and then it resolves back to the 1. It's a plagal cadence, and it just keeps going and going and going. So I'll play it for you real fast to show you, what it sounds like. I guarantee you've heard this like 100 times. And then you could just keep going and going and going. It goes forever. Like Let It Be by the Beatles. That one. There's a bunch. Like if I had a list in front of me, I could just start reading, and it just goes on and on and on. It's kind of crazy how many there are. So I wish my keyboard didn't have this velocity sensitivity thing the way it does. But for example, so that's one variation on it. So that's the chord progression. That's seriously the majority of this video. Now, what are some cool things you could do with it? Well, you consider inverting it. Here, I took it and made it the bass line, and I have this sort of walking, sort of boogie styled bass line, and so it's going down, na 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 na. That kind of that was different notes, but anything like that. Something that's unique about this particular chord progression is that you can move these chords around. Like pretty much as long as you stay in these 4 chords, you can just throw the order around all over the place. Like, so we have the 1. So if we're moving in the key of C, there's the 4. And the key is just not to repeat the chords. Like I guess you could if you want, but that's typically the magic about it is moving using each of these chords. So for example, you can make something that sounds a little more intense and sort of like, let me give you an example. So here's the C. And then we're going to go to the 5. And to the 4. Oh, I wanted to go to the 6. I looked at that and I saw a 4 for some reason. Okay. Oh, so let's do it one more time. Here's the 1. 5. 6. Ooh. You've heard that, right? So you can make it sound quite, intense. You can try minoring some of them. This is written for the major key. So you pick a major key, and this is, as you notice, is diatonic. So it fits quite nicely. But you could choose to do something maybe even a little more, because you could do the chords fast. So you'd be like, now I swapped them again. So let me unswap it. So it's the 1 5 6 4. So you could try and sort of crunch them together in the same measure, and you could come up with some cool things. You could do the sort of dramatic one where it's like, not that, my bad. Now, another thing you could do is you could add sevenths and alterations. So I swapped the 4 again. I have this habit. And then you just keep going. It just lends itself to that. So as you can see, now I'm playing quite soft because my piano, I'm not sure how to control the velocity sensitivity yet in here. But yeah, that's that. If you have any questions about this chord progression, let me know. This is sort of just giving you some ideas on things you can do. This is super mega, super common chord progression. Like, you can't really go wrong. Consider adding alterations to make it a little more, spicy. The rhythms make a big deal. One concept you could try is hinting at the chords while leaving out parts of them, like omit the third or the fifth and just hint around them. You may put the notes in the melody that are the missing pieces, but you give just enough to give an impression of a movement. It frees up your movement to go into more extreme directions, because these chords are so popular, but you still have the 2 and the 3 in the scale. So I mean, you could, so we'll go 1, 5, and then we'll make a little detour to the 2 and to the 6. Then it went right into the 4. And then we'll go to the 5 again. That's the 3. And I wish I had a few more keys on my keyboard. And then we'll go to what are we going to? The 6? So by changing your rhythm, you can fit things in there differently inside the same time span. It creates more interesting chord progressions. But that's the basic idea here. So if you have any questions about this, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.
Get up, just feel the beat.